Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome to a scary reaction video. I actually did not mean for this video to happen in October, but it's serendipitous. It just happened to line up perfectly. So, welcome to the spooky reaction video. We're looking at all the scary videos that you guys submitted in the Discord. This first video is scary pop-up that makes you jump and cry. It's a minute long, and on the Discord... Oh god. The thumbnail for it is literally this. That's an old picture from way back. I remember when that was being used. Okay, well, oh my god, I can even track. Okay. I remember when, back in the, early thousands when, games used to have that just hidden in amongst it, and when there were videos that... would just be some peaceful drive through the woods and then suddenly brrr, and I'm totally expecting this to be that. Oh god.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Okay, already I know. Oh no. Oh, when's it gonna come? You're just gonna wait for it to happen. And it's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen any second now! Okay. I thought it was gonna be way more intense than that. This is child stuff. Is there another jump in there, maybe? No? Oh god. I was so preemptive about that because I know that picture used to be used for the most horrific of jump scares back in the day. Yeah, you just say something like super peaceful and sweet, peanut butter jelly time, and then all of a sudden that would come up and it would destroy your speakers. It was so loud. And now we have a video from Smosh.
Gonna find the princess and show her my toadstool.
I have actually seen this before. I've seen this video before. It was in one of the reaction videos. I don't remember when or why. I remember it being weird at the time.
Model Myrtle Sorosa and her crew were traveling abandoned back roads near eastern Samar in the Philippines on their way home from an event.
Real ghosts.
This is an area where many people have lost their lives due to the frequent typhoons in the area. Myrtle swears that she and her friends very clearly saw a little boy crouched in the roadway with his face in his hands as if weeping. They stopped further down the road.
Looks like a monkey. It doesn't look like a human.
Sure that they would see the sad little boy on the video. But instead, the dashcam had just recorded a strange white blob in the middle of the road.
That's so typical.
Just what is that bizarre white mass that's right in the roadway?
It's just some sort of animal. I don't know. An owl or something. You're in the Philippines. There's plenty of crazy animals that it could be.
I'm a little uncertain on the source of this clip, but judging by the blurred faces and voice alterations, it looks like it was originally broadcast on Japanese TV. Two guys in a room where one of them flips on a light, seemingly to show his friend his new guitar. But the guy filming says that he thinks he saw something and begins panning the room.
Even if this video had anything genuinely scary in it, there's plenty of videos that are from Japan that are designed to look real, but they're fake. We saw that one about the aliens on the coast. What did I miss? Is it when the light's flickering on?
As the light flickers on, there's something standing in the corner. Something that quickly disappears in the light.
There's tons of stuff like that, and it's
Ghost
easy to do nowadays.
Hotel. The Shadow Warriors team says that no one had access to the area of the building where the woman appears at the time they were filming. So, what do you think? Could this be a ghost caught on camera? Or is it just a curious lady who wandered off into a restricted area for a better look at the ghost hunters?
A lot of those houses like that,
Tsunami ghosts.
they are open to the public for, you know, wandering through the house.
She simply asked the drivers, have you ever had any unusual experiences after the tsunami? Some of the drivers were indifferent, but oddly, some of the drivers became angry and refused to talk to her. And then many of the other drivers related scary stories of actually picking up what they called ghost passengers. These drivers even backed up their claims by showing her records from their taxi meters.
Japanese
This next clip is supposedly a scary video caught on camera by a Japanese taxi CCTV system.
There are plenty of very suspicious people, superstitious, people in Japan. There's still quite a belief of the supernatural and superstitious things.
So is this a scary video of a ghost caught on camera in a Japanese taxi? Or is it simply an elaborate fake?
There's a lot of
The singing
sort of
ghost.
spirituality in Japan.
Reddit user Cetro77
And it leads
had
to a
long
lot of
claimed in the group R Paranormal that his
superstition.
house he began to hear disturbing singing coming from his closets. The voice sounded almost like someone humming tunelessly, but in a very deep voice. In fact, the voice was so deep and hard to pick up that his camera barely registered it in this scary video. I did a little noise removal and audio boosting to improve the sound, but no audio effects were added.
I'm a massive skeptic. I don't believe any of this nonsense. And so one of the things I will mention, I'm sorry if it annoys you, I keep coming up with explanations, but the plumbing in some people's houses does kind of sound like that sometimes. We get weird ass vibrations in this house sometimes, not caused by any supernatural nonsense. Just caused because our pipes are weird. Like if someone turns on
In the scary video, you can hear a deep,
tap in
tuneless
one end of the
humming that
house.
seems to come from the
you
closet.
get all sorts of weird noises at the other end of the house. And they're intermittent, they don't follow a pattern. Because it's just random water flowing.
What do you think? Ghost caught on camera, singing? A stereo turned up too loud in another room? Or just some random background noise? Let me know down in the comments.
I always say things like, nice try, but no.
These are 5 extinct animals caught on camera and spotted in real life.
Once
Let's
again,
begin.
My skepticism is
Number
going to
5,
overwhelm me.
Megalodon caught on tape. Myths about large, fish-like sea monsters are universal to the human condition. The most well-known may be the legend of Leviathan, an ancient and giant fish or whale that ate the biblical figure Job. While it was traditionally believed that Leviathan had been a whale, the discovery of the ancient and allegedly extinct Megalodon shark led people to believe that perhaps the inspiration for Leviathan had originally been a giant shark. While Megalodons
sea
are believed
creatures
to
like
be
that.
extinct,
So much of that is just pure... I'm no more convinced than I was when I went into that. But then, as I've said before, I'm quite the skeptic. It's going to take a lot more than that to prove any of those to me.
Heart attack in the haunted mansion. Back in the 1960s, a preview event was held to select members of the public so Disney could gain feedback. One man, apparently, found the ride so scary that he died from a heart attack, forcing Disney to postpone the launch and tone down the scare factor of certain elements of the ride. So the version we have today is far less scary than the one originally planned. Mr. One Way. Popular roller coaster Space Mountain is rumoured to be haunted. People have reported sightings of a man who will appear next to them while queuing, and sometimes even sits in an empty carriage beside them during the ride itself. He always disappears before the ride has ended, vanishing into thin air. There have been many sightings of Mr. One Way at Space Mountain over the years, and legend has it he is the ghost of a man who died on the ride during the 1970s. The Bellhop Ghost. Legend has it on the Tower of Terror ride many years ago, a bellhop working on one of the 4 platforms, Platform Delta, suddenly dropped dead. Ever since that day there have been sightings of the bellhop ghost. In fact, he has even been allegedly caught on camera. The bellhop ghost never harms anyone, but he does like to play tricks by randomly shutting down lights, freezing up the ride, and causing loud and unexplainable noises to freak out staff members after the park has closed. Debbie Stone. The problem was that the walls rotating around the stage centre would flatten up against one another after each clockwise turn. Debbie Stone was a young woman working on the ride as a performer, and she was the victim of a fatal accident. She became trapped between the stages during one of the rotations and crushed between 2 walls. Before the ride's closure in 1998, people would remark they could, on occasion, hear a woman's voice warning, "Be careful," near the site of the accident. And this was said to be the ghost of Debbie Stone, warning other workers so they would not befall a similar fate. Human ashes in the haunted mansion. There have been numerous accounts of people caught in the act of dumping the cremated remains of loved ones in the haunted mansion.
I had heard that before.
The Abandoned Island. In 1974, Disney opened an island within their resort called Discovery Island. Yes, that's right, they opened an entire island. Originally a pirate-themed island, Discovery Island was eventually closed down in 1999. Now the entire island lays abandoned. The only remaining life, its natural inhabitants, the birds and alligators. A few years after its closure, a photographer swam out to the island under the cover of darkness to explore. Strangely, the lights of a water park were on, even though no work was being carried out and the island had long been left in ruin. Legend has it, this overgrown, abandoned island within Disneyland is haunted by Disney mascots who will terrorize anyone who trespasses on its land.
The guy who went there, he didn't say anything about haunted mascots, so where did that come from? Now we have something.
Hey, is it possible the scary-looking girl known as Momo is for real? Or are we just looking at another internet fake gone viral?
Oh, it's this
I've got
guy.
the answer to that haunting little number, plus answers to
He's
a
usually
couple
pretty
other
informative.
crazy. I only have one question for you, and that is, seriously? I mean,
Yeah.
do you really think there's an evil girl out there that if you call her, she's going to tell you things about yourself that only you know? Do we really need to even ask? Sadly, the truth is, we really don't have to ask the question, but I got an idea. Why don't we ask the question anyway? Remember when everyone thought you didn't have to ask if the world was flat because we all just knew it already? If you call Momo on one of her phone numbers, she will answer, and that is where the weirdness starts. What do you say we just try to call her up like everybody else does and see if she actually answers? Well, it's ringing. Come on, Momo. All right, I'm going to give you 3 more rings. Phone went dead. I guess it only lets, WhatsApp only lets it ring so long. So let's get to the official answer because I want to get that out of the way first. The final decision is the picture of Momo. This is chilling. Is real. Oh, wait, hold on a second. There's more. Oh, I see. All right, so the picture is real, but Momo as a real entity is not. She's fake. Fabulous Facebook fact checker Atlas Leader was the first to report that Momo is in fact a sculpture, as in work of art
there we
sculpture.
go. Yeah.
It's called Mother Bird and was made by an artist named Link Factory in Japan. It's
I
not.
think I've seen enough of that. What he said right there is exactly what I think. Okay, now we got Ubisoft body horror. This glitching happening in their games. This happens in games, in all games. When you go to a certain distance away from the viewer, from the player, you can't animate everything perfectly. It's way too much resources to animate everything perfectly. So you just make them really basic. Oh god, yeah. I like that they're framing it as like this terrifying thing. It's, oh, body horror. It's just, this happens in so many games. It is weird. It is creepy and weird. But it's not unusual. The one on the right. Oh my god. Well. Yeah, it's pretty typical in modern games especially. Whenever you're dealing with stuff that's not going to be viewed close up by the player, there's no point in making it too detailed, so you get weirdness like that. Alrighty, well, those were interesting. Some of those videos weren't exactly what I was expecting to see in the scary reaction section, but I wanted to do this just as like a one-off. I wasn't sure what would happen, and I like to experiment. I like to experiment with this because I want to keep it varied and mixed up, you know. I don't want to just keep reacting the same way to the same kinds of videos all the time. I want to try new things. Only 1 or 2 of those videos was sort of genuinely kind of like spooky. But I'm not bothered by that. As I've said before, like I don't handle horror all that well, so I'm not entirely bothered by that. But just because I feel like it, I thought I would end off with a little bit of part of me expected more of these kind of videos as well, but this also wasn't what I was looking for. I think it's enough of that. I'll just throw this in here for good measure as well.
Look at I saw that shit. I saw that shit. See, I saw that shit. And I'm like, and then it disappeared over there by the desk. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that shit? Y'all saw that shit, right? I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that? Okay.
He saw that shit. Well, that's enough for today. So, now we have to think about what we want the next reaction video to be. The next special reaction video to be. How about we make the next one another cringe one? I know I left the cringe one open because some people wanted to post some more cringy reaction stuff. So, next reaction video will be another cringe video. Post your worst stuff. Last time was pretty good. You guys were pretty good last time. More of that. Well, I say more of that, I mean more cringe and not necessarily more furry, brony, that kind of stuff. Just more cringe, please. Whatever ends up happening, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always,